And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing exactly then? I guess would be the question that a lot of people asked. Kind of throw up your hands and go, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing this kind of thing if you are constantly under fire?
Wait, did you see what Angel Reese wore on Nick Cannon's show? It's got everyone talking. But here's the thing, she just said she's a victim of sexualization. What's going on here? Let's break it down. Angel showed up in this tight purple jumpsuit that left little to the imagination. I'm talking revealing with a capital R. The moment she stepped out, social media went crazy. It was like a bomb went off online. Fans were losing their minds. Critics were going wild. Everyone had something to say. But here's what's really weird. Angel just told us she's been attacked and sexualized. So why wear that outfit? It doesn't add up, right? We're gonna figure out what's really going on here. And you know what? This whole thing might be shaking up her career and that rivalry with Caitlyn Clark, but I'm not giving away all the juicy details just yet.
Again, doing things that, well, I mean, when you consider the things that she has talked about that she has been subjected to.
Remember when Angel Reese was on top of the world after winning the championship? Well, things have changed dramatically. What caused such a sudden shift in public opinion? Let's break down how a few gestures on the court sparked a firestorm of debate. Angel Reese's journey from NCAA champion to controversial figure is like nothing we've seen before. 1 minute, she's the most outstanding player of the 2023 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. The next, she's the center of a heated debate. Talk about a roller coaster ride. So what happened? It all started with a few simple gestures during the championship game. Angel waved her hand in front of her face and pointed to her ring finger. No big deal, right? Wrong. Some fans went crazy.
At the end of the game, what happened? There's a lot blown up on Twitter about Angel Reese following you around, pointing to her ring finger and taunting you.
That Caitlyn Clark is the golden goose. She's the cash cow. And wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft.
Calling her classless. But here's the kicker. Caitlyn Clark had done similar things before and nobody batted an eye. What's up with that? This is where things get really interesting. People started asking questions about why Angel was getting all this heat when Caitlyn didn't. Some folks think it might have something to do with race. I mean, they're both confident players, so why the different reactions? Now, Angel's not one to back down. When all this criticism started coming her way, you know what she said? I don't fit in a box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Boom, she's not changing for anyone, and that's got people talking even more.
The narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood, I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. Other people do it. Y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's gonna speak up on what they believe in.
But here's the thing, this whole situation has totally changed how people see Angel. She's not just a basketball star anymore. Some fans love her confidence and how she stands up for herself. But they're like, yes, queen, be yourself. But others, they think she's going too far. They're calling her a socialite rather than a baller. Can you believe that? It's like Angel's become this larger-than-life figure overnight. 1 minute she's making amazing plays on the court, the next she's at the center of this huge debate about how athletes should behave. It's wild how a few simple gestures can change everything. And you know what's really crazy? This whole thing isn't just about basketball anymore. It's become this big conversation about personality, authenticity, and how we expect athletes to act. Angel's basically challenging everything we thought we knew about how sports stars should behave.
I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like,
kind of throw up your hands and go, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing this kind of thing if you are constantly under fire? But she did put out there, and you heard it, the word sexualized, right? And it was sort of the point that I was making yesterday.
So now we've got this situation where every move Angel makes is under a microscope. People are watching everything she does on and off the court. It's like she can't breathe without someone having an opinion about it. Just when you thought the Angel Reese story couldn't get any more intense, enter Caitlyn Clark. These two aren't just battling it out on the court anymore. It's become a clash of personalities, playing styles, and how they handle success. But who's really coming out on top in this rivalry? Let's rewind a bit. Remember that championship game? Angel and Caitlyn were already going head-to-head, but nobody could have predicted how wild things would get.
Iowa on the biggest stage in the women's game. These two young ladies in particular are no strangers to being part of the biggest moments in our sport.
Caitlyn and Angel Reese, coming off of last year's national championship, was the most viewed ever. Now this year, we blew those records away, and we're so excited to have Caitlyn.
It started with some on-court gestures, but now it's a whole different ball game. Here's where things get crazy. Caitlyn Clark just won Rookie of the Year, and it wasn't even close. We're talking 66 out of 67 votes.
Angel Reese got a most valuable player vote. I mean, who can we actually tie that to? You can't like Angel Reese, you can't like Caitlyn Clark at the same time? You're cool with Angel Reese, so you're not supposed to recognize how good Caitlyn Clark is in all of this, and I think anybody can make an argument for number one with Caitlyn Clark if they wanted to. And
that's insane. You'd think this would be a huge deal, right? Well, Angel had something to say about that. When asked about Caitlyn's win, Angel dropped this bomb. "We don't care about the Rookie of the Year. You guys have made it a big thing." Whoa. Talk about throwing shade. But here's the thing, was Angel trying to brush it off, or was she really bothered by it? This comment set social media on fire. Some fans were all for Angel's confidence, like, "Yes, queen, don't let it get to you." But others, they weren't having it. They thought Angel should have been more gracious, maybe even congratulated Caitlyn. Instead, she was more focused on her podcast. That's when things started to shift. You know what's really wild? This rivalry isn't just about who's better on the court anymore. It's become this huge thing about personality, how they handle fame, and what it means to be a star in women's basketball. Angel's bold, in-your-face style versus Caitlyn's more, let's say, traditional approach. It's like watching two different worlds collide. And get this, the fans are picking sides. It's not just about who scores more points or gets more rebounds. People are looking at how these two carry themselves off the court, how they talk to the media, even how they use social media.
The rematch comes on the heels of the Reese-Clark rematch last Sunday, which was the most watched WNBA game in 23 years.
That's one of the big things. Have you noticed? It's never about basketball.
They go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better.
It's like every little thing they do is under a microscope. But here's where it gets complicated. Some folks are saying race plays a part in how people react to Angel versus Caitlyn. They're pointing out that Angel gets more heat for being confident, while Caitlyn gets praise for it. Is it fair? That's the million-dollar question. And this whole situation has turned into something bigger than basketball. It's like Angel and Caitlyn have become symbols in this huge debate about identity, representation, and what it means to be a role model in sports.
You got to remember, Angel Reese, her game, solid, professional, steady. She's going to be in the league for a long time.
This person even is an Angel Reese fan. I love me some Angel, but come on now.
Who would have thought a few gestures in a championship game would lead to all this? And you know what's really interesting? The way Angel and Caitlyn handle this rivalry is totally different. Angel's all about embracing the drama, using it to fuel her game and her brand. Caitlyn, she's more low-key, letting her game do the talking. Two totally different approaches, but both of them are getting tons of attention. So now, every time Angel or Caitlyn step on the court, it's not just about the game. Fans are watching their every move, analyzing their body language, dissecting their post-game interviews. It's like a reality show, but with way more jump shots. The spotlight on these stars isn't just bright, it's scorching. Angel Reese says she's been through so much, but her actions are raising eyebrows. What's really going on behind the scenes of this basketball drama? Let's talk about Angel's wild ride lately. She's been making headlines left and right, but not always for the reasons she might want. Remember that outfit she wore on Nick Cannon's show? Yeah.
Right? And not only that, but what's your priority towards basketball? A lot of people are wondering, what's your priority towards basketball?
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
What are you doing? Why is the majority of the content you're ever posting not about the actual sport that you're a professional in?
The one that had everyone's jaws on the floor. Well, it turns out that was just the beginning of a crazy roller coaster for Angel. Here's where things get really interesting. Angel's been telling everyone how tough it's been for her lately. She dropped this bomb: "I've been through so much. I've stood strong every single time." Whoa, right? It sounds like she's been dealing with some heavy stuff.
I think there's a single person on the planet that would condone the actions of any of that being done to Angel Reese, because a lot of people are saying, well, look, now you sat on a stage, you were crying, you said you were being sexualized.
But here's the thing that's got everyone scratching their heads. Angel says she's tired of being sexualized, but then she shows up in these super revealing outfits. It's like, what's the deal here? Is she sending mixed messages, or is there something we're missing?
For this video, and this is her claiming that she's gotten death threats and attacked and that she has been sexualized. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing exactly then? I guess would be the question that a lot of people asked. Outfit she had on as she was walking in some parking garage. And I'm like, well, this is what I like to refer to as hypocritical.
And you know what's even crazier? Some fans are starting to call her a socialite rather than a baller. Can you believe that? This girl who's been tearing it up on the court is now being seen as more of a celebrity than an athlete. That's gotta hurt, especially for someone who's worked so hard to get where she is. But let's be real for a second. Is this all Angel's fault, or is there something bigger going on here? As some people are saying that the way Angel's being treated has a lot to do with race and gender. They're pointing out that other athletes don't get as much heat for the things they wear or say. Is that fair? It's a tough question, but it's one we've gotta ask. And you know what makes this whole situation even more complicated? Angel's not backing down. She's still out there being her bold self, not apologizing for who she is. On one hand, you've got to respect that. But on the other, you got to wonder if it's making things harder for her in the long run.
Here, you started seeing it, but the world sexualizes her. I mean, honestly, at this point, if she were to lose a series and then cry, and I mean, a lot of people are like, I don't get it. We thought you were traumatized. She made a huge post about being sexualized, and all yet she continues to wear things that make her become a target.
Think about it. Every time Angel steps out in public, now people are watching her every move. They're analyzing her outfits, her words, even her social media posts. It's like she can't breathe without someone having an opinion about it.
Quote, I'm tired of being sexualized, and then put all your business out there. I mean, honestly.
Well, it was definitely what happened last year between Caitlyn Clark and, Angel Reese. It was, talked about, and would have liked to seen that rematch in time, but
then you go and put this kind of thing on social media, and it doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
That's got to be exhausting, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Is all this attention helping or hurting Angel's career? Sure, she's more famous than ever, but at what cost? People are starting to focus more on her off-court drama than her amazing skills on the court. Is that what she wants? And let's not forget about how this is affecting her rivalry with Caitlyn Clark.
But we did it. This was for Baltimore. This was for the SEC. This is for everybody that doubted. This was for the girls that look like me that said that they can't do this.
Comments about the Angel Reese Caitlyn Clark race, and I got to tell you, make some very smart comments.
Seem like it's something, but I love Caitlyn and I love her game and I admire everything that she's done.
Remember how that started? It was all about who was the better player. Now it's turned into this whole thing about personality, image, and how they handle fame. Again, it's not just about basketball anymore. It's like a clash of two different worlds. So now we've got this crazy situation where Angel's every move is under a microscope. She's famous, yeah, but is it for the right reasons? Is she happy with how things are going, or is she feeling trapped by all this attention?
This emerged on social media and is now making the rounds, and yeah, she's getting obliterated for it.
Y'all told me to calm it down. Y'all criticized me all year. I'm her. I'm telling y'all, I'm the Bayou Barbie, period.
Don't say you've got an issue with being viewed in a certain manner, but this is how you conduct yourself. Please don't sexualize her.
And here's something to think about. How does all this drama affect the way people see women's basketball as a whole? Is it bringing more attention to the sport, or is it taking away from the amazing athleticism these women show on the court? All right, let's talk about what's next for Angel Reese. This girl's been on a wild ride lately, right? From that eye-popping outfit on Nick Cannon's show to her ongoing feud with Caitlyn Clark, Angel's been making waves both on and off the court. But here's the thing, all this drama is starting to overshadow her skills as a player. Some fans are even calling her a socialite rather than a baller. That's gotta sting. And now everyone's asking, can Angel keep being a basketball star and a celebrity at the same time? Or is she gonna have to pick one? It's like everything Angel does now is under a microscope. One wrong move and bam, she's all over social media. You've gotta wonder, how's all this gonna affect her game? Is the pressure gonna make her stronger? Or is it gonna mess with her head?